Hey VIPs, Stephanie from Mrs. D's Corner. I'm so excited to be back with you guys today. I took a couple of days off and I was more than excited to come back and hang out with y'all today. So thank you so much for tuning in, whether you're catching me live or you're watching the replay. Today we're going to be talking about open house, back to school night, meet the teacher night, whatever it's called in your school. That's what we're going to be talking about. I know there are a couple of different names for what they're called, and I know my last school we had a back to school night and a meet the teacher night. 2 different nights. It was crazy. So I want to talk to you about what I do for back to school night, parent teacher night, what that looks like, and kind of give you some pointers and tips and tricks for things that you can use in your classroom. So whether it's called open house, back to school night, meet the teacher, or something else, that's what we're going to talk about today. So welcome. The first thing that I do want to say is that it really depends on your district. So I've worked in a couple of different districts across a couple of different states, and every district or school is different with whether they want you to have a PowerPoint presentation ready to go or not. I've worked in both schools, one that had a PowerPoint that needed to be shown and one that didn't. I've also worked in schools where parent communication and parents would actually come to the open houses, and I've also been in schools where nobody showed up for the open houses. So it really depends on your school, your district, and how well you know your families, right? So if it's your second or third year and nobody showed up last year, but you did this elaborate thing, maybe don't do the whole elaborate thing this year if you're expecting that many people to show up. However, I will say these couple of things I'm going to show you are super simple. It's not super elaborate, but it makes you look really well put together, and it gives parents a good first start, first meeting you type of thing. So you could do a PowerPoint. I usually just do something super simple, nothing outrageous, nothing too laborious for me to create, something simple that only took me a couple of minutes, and it follows whatever the district or school needed me to say to the parents. With that being said, I always do have a sign-in sheet when it comes to open house. This is the one that I used 2 years ago because I was out of the classroom last year. So this is the one that I used 2 years ago, and it was super simple. Parents just signed in and then put their child's name, who they were here for, and their signature. So something so simple. You could easily just put a notebook out. Sometimes the schools will give you a sheet that they need to have signed, or you have to give them a sticker or something. Everything is different. I also, on that parent teacher night, open house, back to school night, I do give parents, I was going to say teachers, I do give parents their child's schedule. So I'll give them their schedule. I will put it on pretty paper just because it makes it look pretty, but I will put it on that child's color. So we do color code, or I color code my classroom. There are other videos in here to show you how to do that, what it looks like. But just so the parents get used to seeing things in their child's color, I will color code all of their papers that go for that child. Makes it super simple. I'll just stick them all in, print one child's, and all that fun stuff. So I will give them their child's schedule. I will also give them my contact information. I give them it in this form, and then I also give it to them in this form, which I'm going to go over. I give them my contact information. I also tell them when my conference time is, and if I have any other times during the day that I am able to meet with parents or make phone calls home to them or chat with them, I give them both of those times here. That way they know at the beginning of the year, here's when my conference time is, so I can talk to you then. Here's when this time is, this is when I can talk to you. The rest of the time throughout the day, don't email me at noon. I'm not going to get back to you until 3 o'clock. So it really lets them know, this is what my schedule is. I also share really good news. So at my last school, I won a grant through the school district to purchase iPads. So I wrote up kind of a little newsletter just saying that we won a grant through the Education Foundation at my last district to get 4 iPads. And I explained to them what we'll be using them for and if I needed anything from them. I didn't need anything from them, but it was just kind of letting them know what was happening and sharing good news with parents. So it helped them feel like they were part of the classroom, because they are. I also ask at this time for them to send anything in. This isn't necessarily donations in the form of I need Velcro or cardstock, or each child needs to have a crayon box with this, this, and this in it. This is more for life skills types of things. So this is something that I sent home when I was in the self-contained classroom. So we worked on brushing our teeth. So I asked that parents send in a child's toothbrush for their child and their child's toothpaste. And then we kept it at school. They had their own colored cups in the bathroom too, and it worked well that way. We also, because we won the grant for iPads, I asked parents to send in their own headphones. I had gone through many pairs of headphones the previous school year with students who were destructive, and I felt that it was also necessary for parents to send in their own child's headphone, so that way there was a sense of ownership over their headphones. I didn't have to worry about anything breaking. If it broke, I sent it home. The parents knew, and they were kind of responsible for it that way. My parents were great with it. They completely understood, and I really didn't have that many broken headphones because they were their own child's, and the child knew if they broke the headphones, they were going to get in trouble at home too. So I asked them to send in their own headphones, and then I also had a washer and dryer in my self-contained classroom. So I asked parents to send in, like, if you're missing a sock, like send in a sock, or if you have any like leftover fabrics from anything, or you know anyone who has like just like little squares of fabrics, or you find any at a yard sale or anything, send them in so we can use them for color sorting to go with our washing machine, so we could practice washing clothes as well. Parents really like that, by the way. They were like, you're gonna teach my kid how to do the laundry? And I was like, well, we're gonna try. So I send that in as well. So when it comes to keeping parents in the know, besides those little notes home, like how do I keep parents engaged throughout the whole school year? What other information do I give them? So the last couple of years I've used this. This is my dual flipbook parent handbook. I absolutely love it. I just cut this one out for y'all. So this is my sample one that is included in the download. Again, anything I show you, the links are all above except for that stuff that I just showed you. That was stuff that I created exclusively for my last classroom. But if it's something that y'all are interested in, I can certainly add it for you guys. What I put in here is kind of all the information that would go into a slideshow or a PowerPoint presentation that I would have to share with parents. But parents can't take the slideshow home, right? So I would give them one of these. If I had to do the slideshow, all of the information would be here and on the slideshow as well. I would stick a magnet on the back. Magnetic tape is fantastic, and they could put it on their fridge, and they would have all of the contact information all times throughout the school year. So I would just kind of put welcome and then the school year. Do a little bit about me. So this is where I would share about Mrs. D. I'll probably share that I'm married, that we're from Pennsylvania, but we've just moved here. I have 2 dogs. I love Reese's and Cherry Coke, dinosaurs and sharks, like just little tidbits about me that, just the fun things that the parents get to know about me. My words are all messed up today. Email, so I would put my email address in here as well as my phone number, and also include my planning time and any other times throughout the day where I'm able to make phone calls and respond to parent emails. I would also do helping hands. This is one of my favorite parts of this. This is where I would ask for donations from parents for classroom supplies. When it came to self-contained classroom, there were a lot of things. So my last school did this thing where parents could buy just this pack based on the grade level that their child was in. They could buy this pack of school supplies. So they didn't have to go to Target or anything. It was kind of funded through the PTA. They outsourced, and they would just get packs of, like, first grade would have first grade stuff in it. But being in self-contained, if I had a 4th grade student and the 4th grade stuff had general ed 4th grade stuff, but my child wasn't on the 4th grade level. So I couldn't use a lot of that stuff in my classroom. I would end up just donating it to my child's inclusion 4th grade teacher so that they could use it in their classroom. So I would always ask parents to send in things that aren't in those pre-made bins, or things that maybe when you're at Target school supply shopping, they don't really have Velcro like in the back to school section, or you don't think of like to grab cardstock or file folders for the teacher. Just things that we always use in the self-contained setting that I'm gonna provide for the kids anyway if I don't get them, so it doesn't hurt to ask. The worst thing is parents don't send it in and I have to buy it anyway. So there's always that. So I would always ask for white cardstock, sticky back Velcro, Ziploc bags, tissues and napkins, Clorox disinfecting wipes, paper plates, bowls and Dixie cups, plastic silverware for Fun Food Friday, and iTunes gift cards to use for our iPads so I could buy. My children loved the Disney apps that would read the books to them. So as a reward, some of my students would earn those. I would also buy different apps, educational apps for my kids to use during iPad time using those gift cards. I would also put the classroom schedule in here. I would never put individual student schedules in here. That always went home on their own sheet, because then I would keep this in a child's binder as well. So I had to make a copy for myself. So I'd just make an extra copy and send it home to parents. The classroom schedule would go in here, and I always put at the bottom, student schedules vary and will be sent home at a later time, but I always send them home during open house. We talk a little bit about classroom management, parent helpers. So we would have helpers sometimes come in and help with Fun Food Friday. So that would be a little bit about that and kind of what they had to do from the district standpoint. They had to go through like the background check and all that fun stuff. So that kind of gave them more information on that. Then I gave them more information on Fun Food Friday because it is something that we would do. Now, when this sample doesn't include coffee cart, so I would probably put coffee cart in here as well and explain to them that, hey, we have a coffee cart business, we learn how to make coffee, blah, 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 blah. But Fun Food Friday is on here. And then I also do explain the reading toolkit because I did not send homework. I do not send homework home. I send home the reading toolkit. If parents ask for homework to be sent home, I'll send home more worksheets and things that go along with the reading A to Z books in the parent toolkit, or in the parent toolkit, and the reading toolkit for parents to do with their kids at home. So all of that information is in this one tiny little thing. Now the great thing about that is if you don't want to cut all of this out, I have a different option for you. This one is a no prep. All you have to do is print it and copy it, and it just flips up. You fold it at the different points. There's lines to show you where to fold it. You copy it front back, and all of your information is in here. So this is another great option. I also do have a free option that is linked above. I don't have it printed out. I don't know where my sample is, but I also have that option available for you. One other thing that I do send home is the parent calendar. It's not linked above, so I'll go back through and add it into the comments after this video. I shared this in a previous video about parent collaboration and getting communication going with parents and all of that fun stuff. So this is something that I will send home at the beginning of the school year because it's for August, September, and October. If it is like a super formal open house where parents are going to come sit in my classroom and look at a PowerPoint, I will leave this blank for them, and then during the PowerPoint I'm going to have them be active and they can fill in different things in here, and then maybe afterwards I'll send home like a note like this, or maybe even just like a quick, well, we probably wouldn't put it in an email for confidentiality reasons, but I would send them home another note maybe saying your child's IEP due date is this date, we have testing coming up this date, and all of that fun stuff. So individualized student stuff I will not put on a slideshow. I was going to say a spreadsheet. I wouldn't put on a spreadsheet to show everyone either. But then I could have parents fill it in. If it's super casual, they just kind of come in and meet you and then leave, like come and go throughout the night or the day, whenever you have it. Ours was at night. I would give this to them filled out already, and I would have it individualized for the students to go with all of this other information. So they would get their packet here in their student's color. I just printed it on colorful paper for now. I would put this on here, and then I would also give them this. So they would go home with this stuff, and this is stuff that is particular to our classroom. So if they went into resource or inclusion, they would also go visit those classrooms, and depending on whatever the teacher gave them in those classrooms, they would go home with that information as well. There are also 2 activities. So I know for back to school night, some teachers like to showcase student work. Our back to school night was typically during the first or second week. So we would, during the first and second week in self-contained, I'm learning a lot about the kids. We're doing a lot of assessments, learning where they are, see if they've regressed. If they're new students, we're really learning who they are and what level they are on, and all of that fun stuff. So we would do something probably like build a bulletin board together and do a craftivity. And that would be kind of the open house craft that parents would see out in the hallway. There are 2 options that are linked above. I don't have samples of them to show you. Again, I have no idea where they are. They got lost in the move. But there is the back to school lapbook, not the flipbook. It's a lapbook. So you just take a file folder and you fold the 2 ends in, and it opens up. And there's a bunch of different flaps in there. They can fill out information about themselves. It's a great get to know you activity for students so you can learn more about students. And it's also great I can't talk today, guys. This is ridiculous. It's great to show parents on open house or back to school night, parent teacher night, to kind of give parents something to keep. I know my mom, I think she still has like all that like different stuff we used to do when we were kids in elementary school, like big projects. And then now I can go back and look and see like this cat thing that I made in like first grade, right? So it's something that parents can keep like see what their child liked in that grade in your classroom. So that's really fun for them. There's also a lunch. It's a paper bag craftivity. All they have to do is cut the squares out and fill it in. And you can fill it, put things inside paper bags, inside the flaps. So that's also really fun if you're looking for 2 kind of fun craftivity type of things, kind of get to know you activities for your students, but also for something to showcase for back to school open house night. So that's what I do for open house and back to school night. I would love to hear what you guys do. So if you want to share that with the rest of us, please leave a comment here or send it in a thread through the group, and I'll approve it, and we can chat all about open house and back to school nights. If you have any questions about anything that you saw, or you want to see something more in depth, or maybe you're looking for something different, please let me know. Reach out. We're here to help you. I will be back tomorrow, and we're going to talk about back to school books. So tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern, I'm going to show you all of my back to school books that I have. I'm really, really excited. This will be the last scheduled Facebook Live for back to school time, but I'll still be popping in to do more lives. But I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we're going to chat all about books. I can't wait. See you later.